Hi. New to Law of Attraction. I got that audio book about 4 months ago, and I've been working on a workshop where I put images together.
When that idea of envisioning or visualizing feels good while you're doing it, then do it as much as you have time for. But don't do that to try to change your mood. Because whatever mood you've got when you do it is what's amplified. Does that make sense to you? If you're feeling disappointed about something, that's not the time to say, I need to go visualize. Because what you're going to visualize is more stuff you don't want.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have a meditation practice.
Yeah.
And I do believe in that 100%. And what you say about resetting.
Yeah.
And even just to take a nap or time with the dogs or
Yes.
whatever it is. To,
Yes.
So I'm working on that too. And I love what you said today about the inevitability. Like it is in motion, and it's kind of like I'm going to intersect with it.
It is certain. It's a sure thing.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I'm here, because
Yeah.
I wanted to sort of reinforce that.
Yeah.
And,
Well, the timing of it's a variable, but you have more control over that, and more you realize that. When you think about it, your journey never ends. You receive a desire, you get in the receiving mode, and you receive a desire, and then, let's say in the optimum situation, you're tuned in, you mostly stay that way, so it's playing out, and you're having rendezvous and experiences, but all along that way, more ideas are coming too, and more ideas are coming too, and more ideas, and more ideas, and more ideas. So it turns out that it never turns out. It turns out that the desire is born, which leads to another, and 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 another. It's a never-ending journey. And so when you get hooked on that good feeling of it unfolding, 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 and you never need a destination, so there's never any disappointment. It's just, in what way is the universe going to cooperate with me today? Oh, there, and there, and there. So there's just this constant validation of you being on track about what you want. Sometimes you get so fixated on what you think is the end of the journey that the fact that you're not at the end of the journey causes you to get wonky in your energy. Where if you accept that there is no ending, it's just more good stuff and more good stuff and more good stuff. So Esther's favorite phrase now is, now what? Now what? Now what? In what way, universe, are you going to surprise and delight me today about the things that you know I care about? All day, every day. All day, every day. All day, every day.
I did bring one thing with me.
Good.
Which is the actions that I want to take. Versus like, I hear you, I listen to you,
Yes.
and it makes perfect sense
Yes.
to me. But then it's like,
Yeah.
now it's time to enact that. And I think it's
Yeah.
what you just said, like the now, like, you know.
So the question is,
I guess it is my willingness to take actions on that path of least resistance. Like, so the willingness.
well, that's really why we are asking this one thing of all of you. So let's just say that you're new enough or not practiced enough. This isn't true, but let's just say that you don't really know what your vibration is. So you don't know if you're really in the receptive mode or not. These thoughts are all too new to you, and so you really don't know what your vibration is. So all you got to work with is how things are turning out. Well, when something turns out and it sucks, say to yourself, what thoughts have I been consistently thinking that match up with that? Teach yourself what led to that, and then don't do it anymore. It really is that simple. Teach yourself what led to that, and then don't do it anymore. And the universe will show you and show you and show you. The other day, Esther was at Taco Bell in Texas, and she was waiting for her food, and she looked out the window, and there was a police car pulling over a lady. And the bright lights got Esther's attention. She's just sitting there waiting and watching. And Esther could tell that the woman was upset, and the police officer was being very strong with her. And then she got out of the car, and Esther could tell she looked like she may have been intoxicated. And the police officer's being even stronger with her now, and now the woman is crying. And now her child gets out of the car and is holding onto her leg. And so now the child is crying, and the lady is crying, and Esther is crying because, you know, it doesn't look like anything fun is going to happen anytime soon here. So Esther is thinking, I wonder what I could do to help. Now, Esther didn't know the woman, but she thought, maybe I could, if she's got parking tickets, I'll pay them. What can I do to soothe this? And then Esther thought, I should just mind my own business. And so Esther went about her day. And the next day, she got pulled over for speeding. On her way through a neighborhood, on her way going to the dry cleaners, going 39 in a 35. And she sees the shiny bright lights in her rear view, and she pulls over. And the officer said, "Do you know how fast you were going?" Esther said, "No." And he said, "Do you know how fast you were supposed to be going?" And Esther said, "No." Esther didn't want to explain to him, "You know, I created you." I was thinking about you yesterday and your shiny lights, and here you are. But he didn't give her a ticket. He just gave her a warning. And as Esther was driving away, she thought, damn, thoughts are really turning to things quickly around here. Because what you think about is actualizing. It just is. But that's good news, because that means you can figure out what you're doing. There's no question in Esther's mind. Next time she sees shiny bright lights, she's going to look away. She's looking away. She's not going to get involved. She's not going to get out her mental checkbook. She's not going to take that child home and feed it for the night. She's not going to bail that lady out of jail. She's not going to put her in a drug improvement program. She's going to look away. Because her thoughts about everything turn to things that happen to her. You see? So
I got that from your book. I want that not for my experience. Like, that was something you'd say over and over in the book. And it's also great because a big part of what I want to do is my father was a police officer. And it's funny that you kind of... And I've been carrying that around. It's a story I want to tell, and I don't let myself tell it, and I don't know, whatever.
So thoughts are in the air, aren't they?
Yeah.
In other words, there's a reason that that's a story that we tell to you. Law of attraction is connecting everything. And don't you see the correlation? Aren't you just sort of knocked out by how talented these universal forces are in dovetailing things together for your amusement and enjoyment and understanding and life experience? Isn't this just the most magnificent leading edge creating environment that you could ever imagine? And don't you like the idea of mastering it and harnessing the universal forces for the good that you have carved out of life? Don't you want to be the uplifter that you were born to be? And know for sure the correlation between something that you've set in motion and something wonderful that happens as a result of it. Yeah. Really good. Enough?
Yeah.
Really good.